Excellent. You know, a few minutes ago I was talking to you about HR 2846, which I was blessed enough to be able to write some of the language for our public records law. I gotta tell you, before I even read her bio, our next speaker is one of my favorite legislators because she's someone who actually takes on government officials when it comes to getting public records. Her name is State Representative Shaunna O'Connell. That's the kind of Tea Party welcome I was looking for. Shaunna represents the 3rd Bristol District, which is much of the city of Taunton and includes a precinct in Easton and also in the county of Bristol. She's on the House Committee on Ways and Means and Ethics. Can you imagine that there's an ethics committee of the State House? Can you imagine that? Kind of seems weird to me. And she's also the ranking member on the House Committee on Personnel and Administration. Her legislative priorities do include child safety and protection, small business, transparency and accountability in government, illegal immigration reform, and public assistance program reform with the EBT. How many of you guys saw what she did with the EBT last year? Is that not amazing what she did as a new legislator? For several years, Shaunna O'Connell was working to pass Jessica's Law as part of an advocacy group called Community Voices. To quote Shaunna on what motivated her to get into politics, here's what she said. She said, "Working on getting this important law passed to protect our children from child molesters opened my eyes to the need for citizen involvement, citizen representation, and the fact that one person can make a difference." A year later in 2009, she says, "I decided to run for office as a first-time candidate and was honored to be elected state representative for the 3rd Bristol District in 2010. After a tough election and several recounts, Shaunna O'Connell was returned with a larger margin 2 years later and has been passionate advocate for saving taxpayers their hard-earned dollars. Among the awards that Shaunna O'Connell has received, she named 2013 Best Area Politician by the readers of the Taunton Daily Gazette, the QRCC Women of the Year, Guardian of Small Business Award, the RABA Great 8 Legislators, citations for Taunton Emergency Management Agency worker, volunteer work, and West Church Woman of the Year. Shaunna O'Connell, you know, as a reporter, I talked to a lot of Democrats, I talked to a lot of Republicans. I actually have some friends who are Democrats, I actually have a lot of friends that are Republicans, and some that are even independents. But I can't think of anybody better to address this rally here today than someone who actually is on the front lines, up on Beacon Hill, down in the shadows with the Democrats, fighting every single day for public accountability, than one of our favorite state representatives, Shaunna O'Connell.
Thank you very much. Hello, fellow patriots. Welcome to Boston, where it all began, where we heard the very first cries for freedom and independence. Our forefathers fought back against a government that was overreaching and overtaxing. Those of us who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And now, 200 years later, we face that same fight over taxation without representation. Because the people right over there in that building, in that legislature, have passed a forever gas tax that will increase automatically so that they never have to vote on it again. They have abdicated their responsibility. And it doesn't end there. Just this week, they voted to kill debate on the House floor by prohibiting us from filing amendments to fight for more local aid back to our cities and towns. We, who have been elected by you, the people, they are telling us we can't fight for our money back. They tax us, they confiscate our money in taxes, and then they tell us we can't have it back. And you're probably thinking, geez, it couldn't get any worse. but it does. They also voted to keep us from doing any type of welfare reform during the budget debates. We know that welfare reform is an ongoing process that we have to remain vigilant about so that we ensure we are always protecting taxpayer dollars and always making sure that people who are in need get the help they need. And so what's their excuse for telling us that we can't fight for welfare reform? Well, they're telling us we debated this last November and they got it all right, so we don't need to ever talk about it again. So let's get this straight. The people who were forced to repeal the tech tax that they had voted on, they had to repeal it just 6 weeks later, and they got something right? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's going to fall for that. These are attacks on our rights. They do not want to be accountable. And they want to shut us up. But we will not be shut up. And this is not a Democrat or Republican problem. This is a status quo problem. And that does not belong to just one party. And there are real fighters up there, real fighters like Jim Lyons, Mark Lombardo, Jeff Deal, and we need more soldiers up there. We need more representatives elected who are not going to be go-along, get-alongs. And that is a problem that belongs to both parties. So be sure to work on a campaign this year of someone who has pledged not to be a go-along, get-along. Someone who's going to be a real fighter for you, the people. Today is Thomas Jefferson's birthday, author of the Declaration of Independence. I say that it's our declaration today to stand up to the status quo, the power structure, and put the people back in charge. Let freedom ring. It's an expression that resonates deeply with Americans, filling us with pride, patriotism, and determination. And just like our forefathers, we will not sit on the sidelines. We will not settle for the crumbs from the political table. We will fight back, we will win, and we will make Massachusetts a better place for all of our families. So thank you all for being here today. It means something. And always remember that one person can make a difference, and you are making a difference. Thank you.
Shaunna O'Connell! That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.